Hey YouTube, Dozer here bringing you a gameplay video. I'm going to play against Aurora here, so we're going to definitely be bringing in the Footsteps and the Calming Gesture for AB. Don't really need any of these cards here. I think we're just going to send our 60 to our opponent. I think we'll be going first here, so not the best outcome for us. We would really rather go second, but let's hope we can leak some damage here and do something to our opponent. Aurora is definitely one of the strongest decks in the metagame right now. We're currently in the Hunted metagame, post Viserai LL. So this is Aurora. Now, right off the bat here, we have a decent turn 1 play. We can Prismatic Leyline into Erudition here to rip multiple pieces of armor out of our opponent right off the bat, and hopefully set up our graveyard with an Erudition so that if we do get a Figment of Rebirth into play, we can, oh, and he's got a popper right off the bat. That's unfortunate. We wouldn't even be able to Halo of Triumph that even if we had the resources. But hey, we'll take it. Definitely is a weird card. Not a lot of people running Battlefront Bastion in Aurora these days. So maybe we got a very interesting play from our opponent here. So got a little unlucky, but is what it is. But we can potentially start, okay, another Battlefront Bastion. This is definitely a Aurora list of all time. I think here we're totally happy to take this damage. Normally, it's weird because they have a lot of poppers, so it's possible that our opponent is playing a really janky list. And so we might need to be careful about what our opponent is doing here. I mean, we're probably just going to get popped again, but then we need more resources. So I think we'll just take the damage here and just hope that our opponent's really bad first turn here is indicative of more things to come for us. So we'll send a Herald for 6. Not the best Herald to be throwing here, but we kind of want them to give us a popper first. And so we're happy to have them pop this Herald, and that's where we're leading with it. If they don't have a pop for us, then we definitely get to throw our other good Herald and get it through anyway. So at the end of the day, that's kind of what we're doing here. Yeah, so he's not blocking. We've got a 5-card hand. That means we can play or attack with our Angel this turn. So we're definitely going to want to do that. I think we're going to want to go ahead and pick up. If he's not blocking one, he's definitely not going to block the other one. So I'm actually very inclined here to do Figment of Rebirth to put the Erudition on top. And then we could have done the Erudition first, Figment of Erudition to get the Ponder first, and then done that later. But I'm not really wanting to get rid of the... I don't really want to get rid of the Figment yet. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. This might be a time where we're happy to use the Halo here. But no, we definitely AB here. We'll pay for the AB, and I think we will pocket the Wrath here. So, man, you know, that's a decent way to stop a little bit of our offense there, but we'll just go ahead here and pocket our attack react, basically, to go with our Erudition. Weird Aurora deck, I will say that. So our opponent's attacking us for 3. We're not going to do anything about that. Lightning Press. It's not going to get go again, so we're not really too worried about that. Okay, cool. Here, we could lead with the Erudition. If they pop it, then we can pay for our protection, so that's what we'll do. We've got a decent amount of plays here. Our opponent might have another weird popper or something. But generally speaking, Aurora is going to use armor here. We have our Angelic Wrath in the arsenal here. Our opponent is going to be doing that. We're happy to let that hit. Okay, Sigil of Suffering. We will pay here to stop the additional block. We will not use the Halo, but we will use the Angelic Wrath to get over the D-React here. So we will get to hit. We'll have the floating to work with our Angel anyway, so it doesn't matter what we draw. we will get to get a Figment into play. We've got plenty of cards, so we don't really need the Ponder this turn. I think I'm happy to use, if they didn't pop it in the first place, they're probably not going to pop it now. I think we'll go for the Figment of War here, just to get a bit more attack power. We can use Prism for free to flip our Angel, attack with relative impunity here. Got plenty of resources. Opponent's not going to block. Great. Going from there, we've got a decent amount of resources. We would definitely want to try to pocket something on the back end. I think we will try to pocket the Wartune Herald. Basically, the Wartune Herald is good to keep because our opponent has 7 power poppers, so they seem to be teched for Prism. And so we'd rather have the card that can actually threaten to punch through our opponent's stuff rather than, and then keep going rather than having to go for a Triumph and be sad because it's going to get popped no matter what we do. So, and we got a lot of Wartunes here, so it's very efficient to potentially play out multiple Wartunes in a turn. So I'm very happy about that. We've got a lot of Spectral Shields, which is very nice. Arc Lightning, going to try to come in for 1 Arcane here. Off of the go again. I think we're happy to pitch our blue Wartune here. Try to keep our Spectral Shields alive as much as possible. We can also potentially use this floating to flip our Figment of Protection, so we're really not losing much. Here, they are attacking our face. We can potentially block here with the Footsteps, but I'm not really sure. I don't think we want to use the Footsteps here. I think we're happy to lose the Spectral Shields. We're not really protecting anything of super high value. So we'll get rid of both of the shields there. We'll maintain our, yep, they're going to get the go again. So now we can pay for the AB, which we'll pay for. That's fine. Opponent's going to choose E-Strike, going for draw a card. So probably going to go for a, and it has go again from the, I guess the Arc Lightning. So whatever they played. So not really going to be able to stuff this entire turn, and it's not really worth it to do so. I think we can try to block out here with the Footsteps and see what our opponent does. We don't want to give them the Channel Lightning Valley effect. Trying to get it there. Go. Okay. 1 Arcane coming into us. I'm very inclined to use the Halo here, but at the same time, I mean, no, we definitely want to AB here because basically we have a totally fine Wartune play next turn. So there's no reason to give them extra cards to draw. So we're going to lead with our Wartune from Arsenal. If our opponent pops here with a 7 power, we can just Arsenal our red Wartune and be happy with that. At the same time, if they try to block the 6 power, we can put the Wartune into our soul, draw off of Prism. Otherwise, we can just throw another red Wartune and have a very efficient play here. Potentially as well, if we do hit here, we can go get our Ponder token and be very happy. That's fine, totally happy with that. We got a very efficient turn here of 3 card 13. On hit, get Angel stuff going. So we're very happy about this. We will hit. We'll get our Ponder token and hope. We will now close the chain, and I think, do we flip here for the life? I think we do. I think we flip our Figment of Protection. We want to save our Erudition Figment so we can draw more cards next turn off the Halo to get extra soul. In the meantime, we're just going to effectively heal 4, pocket an attack. We're very happy we didn't get a Figment there. And we're going to go from here. And so now Aurora is kind of really not has any armor left. She does not really have any armor left. Ravenous Rabble is fine, but we're happy to just let that crash into our Angel because we could have Ravaged in order to deny that from our opponent as well and end their turn effectively. So this is totally fine. Our opponent has a lot of nothing to do. I mean, 23 damage is a lot to ask. We've got a really nice hand full of a lot of cards, so we're just happy to take all this damage and just dump our hand into our opponent next turn. Aurora doesn't really have like a crazy out of nowhere burst potential, especially if they're pitching into Starfall. So we're definitely gonna let that hit. Make the embodiment and pass. Sure, you go for it. So right off the bat here, I think the best line of, there's actually probably a lot of thinking to do here to choose the best line, but our opponent is at 8. So no matter what our opponent does, I think the best thing that we can do is try to force her the Erudition, because we can pitch the Passing Mirage to put our Herald into our Soul. And so we'll put the Wartune Herald. No, we'll keep the Wartune Herald. If our opponent doesn't pop us, then we don't need to Halo. That's totally fine. Not going to go for the pop on us. It's totally cool. Sure. That's totally fine. I think here we don't need to go for the Halo play, but we can go for just flipping the Angel. No, I do think we want to go for the Halo here. No matter what we draw, we've still got the resources we need to do different things. Here, I think we'll push for the Ravages Figment to do 1 arcane to our opponent. And then we can flip for free, and we still have the resources to swing both of our cards here. So I think we want to push as much damage as possible. So we'll use Prism to flip Figment of Ravages. We'll swing it. And I think we will use the Soul here to push damage at our opponent. They have no ABs, so we're coming in for 4 with the go again. Somersault, that's fine. It's not going to represent a tremendous amount of value. They have a Lightning Surge and a Scar for a Scar in their hand. We can't really stop that card from resolving. It's a very powerful card. But what we can do is we can throw the Herald of Triumph for 6. Our opponent's not going to be able to block this out, but they do need to give us some cards here. It looks like our opponent's probably just going to let this hit, and there we go. So Aurora is a relatively good matchup for Prism, mostly off the back of the fact that she doesn't want to pitch into Grasp the Arcanite very often. So she's not going to often do a lot of pings on her turn. Mostly she's going to be sending Breakpoint 4-power attacks, and your Angels are really good at blocking those. As long as your Angels are getting you their max ward value every turn, and you're not getting popped that often, Prism's math is actually very good. Because effectively every Herald that you hit once per turn is a free heal 4. And so even though you start down on HP and down on armor, the fact that you can deny on hits with ward and potentially catch back up in the game is really powerful. And so Prism definitely has the ability to catch up. So hopefully you learned something from this Aurora game, thinking about like when to push your advantage, when to block, things like that, as well as how to value cards, because there are definitely some games where your Herald choice might be a bit different. Maybe you wanted to lead with the protection on a certain turn instead of the Judgment, as we saw earlier. In that case, I do think leading the Judgment is correct, because again, the Spectral Shield doesn't really do anything for you, and most people are going to pop the first Herald, not the second one. So it's better to try and lead with your worst Herald if you can afford to swing multiples of them. And if you're going to hit with them both anyway, then great, right? There's really no reason to lead with your best Herald in a lot of cases. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. So until then, take care. Let me know if you saw any interesting plays or had any questions in the comments. Otherwise, take care and peace.